Alrighty, do you want me to get us started? Kia ora guys, welcome back to this week's episode of the Wholesome Half Hour.
Where are they coming from, Mackenzie?
Huh?
They're coming back, where are they coming from?
The void.
Oh, great.
That's Saren.
Kia ora. That's Mackenzie.
Hi.
And this is Jordan.
I'm Jordan.
This is the first time we've been on a Wholesome Half Hour, I believe.
I think I filled in for you, I think.
No, you've never been on.
No, Lily covered for me
filled
one
in
time.
For you.
I've done it with Lily.
That's not the Wholesome Half Hour, mate.
Oh, was
It's
it?
the study course.
No, it was the Wholesome Half
It was definitely not the Wholesome Half Hour.
I promise you. It was my debut.
100%. I'm 100% confident.
It was
that
when
you
Lily
never
was when Lily first joined, and it was
Yeah.
me, you, Lily, and we talked.
Oh!
About yeah.
Okay, this is when we used to stream the Wholesome Half Hour. And we're live. Kia ora team, how's it going?
Oh my god.
I've eliminated that from my memory.
Jordan just like. So, contrary to popular belief, this isn't an episode where we argue about who's featured in the episode. Saren popped up a question on the IG before asking you guys about your sort of concerns or the things that you're thinking about going into summer and next year. And we got quite a few responses from you guys, so thank you to everyone who did, give us an answer. And we're just gonna kind of like discuss, I think, a few of these things because they're not necessarily like questions. It's more, I think, stuff that we've kind of experienced or gone through as well. So we can probably give some insight into it.
Yeah.
Cool. So, all right, you had the questions up and then decided not to have them. No, it's fine. People were worried about like just their exam results in general,
And the implications of them, I guess.
No, I assume so, but a lot of people are just worried about passing, but nobody's ever really said like...
No, then I won't get into uni.
Yeah, but then if you...
Okay. Sorry, we can see. Very moody today.
Try me. I don't know, I think like not getting into uni at this point is pretty unlikely. They take your level 2 results, not your level 3. So because they can't have your external results to make any judgments about anything.
For UE, you have to get level 3.
Yeah, but
you just have to pass.
Yeah, but you tend to get that before you even go into the exams.
Yeah, true.
Unless you've taken kind of like a stitch-up course paper, subject papers or whatever.
You essentially, you need the rank score 150.
Something like that. Oh, it depends on the uni.
It depends on the uni, but
Auckland's 180, I think.
Yeah, for most people, you just need to pass.
Yeah.
That's covered.
Did you get anxious about your results and stuff? Did you care about your NCA results?
At the time,
yeah. So, in my college we got these blue jerseys. Comparison to all the other peasants who wore grey jerseys.
Oh no.
If you got like E endorsed and then like a few subject endorsements and stuff. And I was...
Wait. They gave you a blue jersey if you
got E endorsed, and I think like 3.
That is the stupidest thing I think I've ever heard in my life.
No, I know schools that you'd get a special tie or something.
No, that's still stupid.
Yeah.
But it's definitely,
Like it's a thing, but it's stupid.
I was one
Status
credit off. I was one credit off in one of my papers from getting that. So apart from that, nah. I was mostly worried about my scholarship papers. So scholarship, English and classics. So I needed the money.
Yeah. Fair shout.
It's expensive, but yeah.
I think level 2, I think I cared the most, and then level 3, I just didn't care because by the time January rolls around, like, you only care about your high school results, I think, when you have to go back to your high school. But by the time January rolls around from year 13, you've kind of given yourself like a month or so to detox from high school and stuff like that. And so you just find that you just don't have the level of cares about it that you did.
Yeah, I think I cared about level 2 the most as well.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But see, I'm an internal kind of guy.
Yeah, same.
So I don't test well. So
Yeah,
like
I was the same.
I was kind of just banked on my internals anyway.
Yeah, I did the exact same thing. Like, I didn't have to sit any of my externals in any year level.
Yeah.
But like I did, obviously I did. But yeah, I didn't like have to.
Yeah.
So that was my strategy. But yeah, I think you get closer to January and you realise that you actually don't care about it as much as you thought you would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when I, side story, not relevant to the question, I remember I
That's what the
woke up
Wholesome
one
has,
morning
right?
and got a message from my mates, and it was like, a group chat, the Scholarship English group chat, and it was like, oh, because results are out now.
I know, right?
I didn't know results were coming out that day because, yeah, I don't know. I'm
think-
not that, yeah, anyway.
Actually, that reminds me, yeah, like when it hit level 3 for me, everyone looked at their results like immediately. I think I took 2 weeks before I even bothered to look. I didn't even look at it on the day.
Here's
I
a
just
fun
completed
fact. I don't know if they still do this. I don't know if schools have caught on to this yet.
Oh, the KMAR?
The KMAR.
The KMARs. Some places you can see your results
if your school has
early.
an online portal, like a student portal or parent portal,
Yeah.
you can see your results early because they get sent to schools early, and schools aren't smart enough to like change
The
their
schools,
privacy settings or whatever.
automatically update it.
Yeah.
So you can sometimes find that a few days early, you can look on your KMAR. But also going on the KMAR can be a good idea because you avoid the whole like NCA crashing situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
And-
what was the rest of your story? Was that it or?
No, so like I checked and like I don't really care about NCA, but I got School English and Classics, which is $1,000. And I
One
think
more and you would have
I
gotten
just-
2.
Yeah, just blasted Joe Jonas's Cake by the Ocean, and that was one of the best days of my life.
If you could get the triple skull, it's 2, but it's 2 for 3 years, right? It's way better because the single skull's 500.
Yeah, single score's 500, get 2, it's 1,000. 3 gets you $2,000, but I think it's just a one-off $2,000.
I feel like it's more. I feel like the 3 is like totally worth it for some reason.
Interesting.
I would have blown $2,000 on like sushi and clothes anyway. So
Straight up.
it doesn't matter much.
You could have bought more of those really cute printed shirts that you wore.
Oh yeah. More bracelets.
You keep
More
going.
beads. Someone's talking about like work over summer, like worried they won't get a job over summer and stuff like that. Have you been in the habit of doing like summer work?
That's a good question. No.
What do you do over summer? Like, how do you spend your time?
That's it. If
Summer
you get,
school. I've had summer school for about 3
if you
years.
get 3 or more subjects, you get $2,000 for 3 years. If you're in tertiary studies.
True.
That's
like way better.
why if you do school, just sit 3. Even if you don't get it, like it doesn't matter. But like just try for 3. Obviously it's a bit late for that information now, but if you're year 12 next year, just try 3 skulls. If you don't get them, who cares? You gave it a shot.
It doesn't work over the 3 years though. Like if you've done a school subject at level 2, which you can do, some
have to get
schools
it,
offer that, you have to get all 3 in 1 year. So
Yeah.
that's a heads up as well.
And you have to go into qualifying tertiary study.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So summer work. What did you do for summer work, Siren?
When I was in high school, I laboured on a construction site. That's what I did.
I could not imagine you labouring.
Yeah. I like dug holes. I did a lot of driving though.
Yeah.
I did like a lot of like acquiring goods.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I did after year 13. So
True.
with one of my mates as well. So it's not bad because we'd just work and have bands. And it's
Yeah.
a situation where you can have bands and not have your productivity decreased.
And you go on smoko every 15 minutes. It's
Yeah,
great.
go down to have some chicken and chips for lunch. It's great.
Yeah, solid effort. I worked at a few different places over summer. I did pack and slave. I did no leaming. Did like cafe work and stuff as well.
I worked for a charity collecting money, but I'm pretty sure we were paid to collect money for them, but I'm pretty sure we always just broke even. Like, I don't know, it wasn't very well thought through. I'm not going to name the charity for that
Yikes.
reason.
Yikes. I think, summer work is one of those things like you can't put your eggs all in one basket. You have to make sure that you're applying to a few different places. Like it's not good to like apply for one place and think that that's enough. Like you've got to get that breadth. I think like saturation is what you're going to go for because you kind of have to understand that the job you're going to do is not going to be fun. Like that's just is what it is. Like you're not going to enjoy.
What have you done for summer work? Yeah.
He just said he hasn't done any.
He's done
He did
summer.
summer school.
Or you do, multiple summer papers and you don't have a summer.
I think the biggest thing about summer work is just like acknowledging that you're there to do like you're there for a purpose. Like you're there to just like go on the hustle for a while.
Yeah.
And you're not
And
going to
also,
enjoy it,
like-
but it is what it is.
And also, like, if you're working, say 9 to 5, like, you can still do stuff after work when
yeah,
you don't have
100%.
school on.
100%,
Like, heaps of people forget that. Heaps of
Yeah.
people just go home and crash. But if you want to
Yeah.
go to the beach, like, you can still do that.
The
You just have to
thing-
put the
yeah.
effort into
like
doing it.
when I worked at the supermarket,
Yeah.
it wasn't great because I would sometimes finish at like
Right.
8 or 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
However, when I worked in Old Leamings, the latest I would ever do was like 6:30.
Yeah.
So that was all good because that meant that I could like see mates afterwards and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And because it was summer and because it was Hawke's Bay summer, it was light until like 9 o'clock, 9:30 anyway.
It's funny because like I finished uni now, right? And I came home after teaching my class on Saturday morning. I got back home at 9 o'clock. I'm like, wow, I don't have to think about like
You don't
what
have to-
what assignment I have
but
to
then-
work
but
on.
then-
It's crazy.
But now you have
So
the
freeing.
crippling fear of like knowing that you can do absolutely anything but being crippled by that opportunity.
That's not something that bothers
Can you
me.
change the colour of it?
You can't.
You can't.
Oh, what? Right.
I think you can change the colour of the text.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
This is kind of a common thing that we've got in.
Maybe you can't.
Is
No.
oh wait, are you talking about that top text?
Yeah.
I thought you could, but
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I don't know. The IG thing is like strange.
just draw behind it. Just draw like a black square behind it.
This is one thing that we've gotten from a bunch of people is like just worried about either like losing touch with friends or even just like making friends at uni. One thing in particular someone mentioned was being worried about making friends at uni because they aren't going into halls of residence, which I think our boy can talk about.
Yeah, oh, you make no friends, so. No.
Well, if you go straight flatting, you will meet people. You might not like them, but you will meet them.
Oh, yeah. Like, most people you won't even like. I
Yeah,
feel like
you're not missing out on a lot.
You need a different social dynamic to high school.
Yeah.
High school, it's like quantity over quality. But,
Yeah.
No, like, you'll make good mates in your tutorials or labs.
Yeah.
And or your mate's birthday party, and I don't know. But it's you'll be fine.
Yeah. I think it's in the same way that people who are worried about losing touch with their friends when they go away, like the people that matter to you,
Yeah.
you will remain
Yeah.
in contact with. The relationships that you will lose, because you will lose some, like don't get me wrong, but the relationships that you will lose are typically friendships of convenience. Like, and what I mean by that is you are just friends because you've been stuck in the same institution for 6 hours every day for the past like however many years. So there is a difference between like a familiarity of presence and a genuine connection with someone. And what you'll find is the people that you have a genuine connection with are the people that will make an effort outside of a school environment to see you and maintain a relationship.
Yeah. If I look at like my 5 or 6 closest friends, half of them haven't lived in Wellington for like about 3 years now.
Yeah.
And almost all of them were not in Wellington this year.
Yeah.
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 But like they're still my closest friends and like yeah, the location thing, for the people you care about the most, it doesn't matter.
Plus, with social media and stuff these days, it's like, you know, I can, like, I've FaceTimed my sister for like a few hours before, and we've just like been doing our lives, but just like talking to each other every now and then and stuff like that. And, you know, you can still have really good like relationships with people, even if you're not necessarily like together, you know?
Forgetting everything I learned in school this year, not being, we'll just...
You will lose a lot of it.
You will use a lot of it.
That's just...
It's just life. It
But
doesn't
you-
really matter though. You'll
No.
pick it, like, when you start again next year, you'll pick up the stuff you need to know. It's not,
Yeah. The thing is, like, when you go into uni, it's going to become much more specialised, right? And what's going to happen is you're going to have a lot of information that you don't need anymore.
Yeah.
And so because of that, you're not going into your brain and actually accessing that memory. And the longer you go without accessing that memory or that piece of information or whatever it is that may be, the weaker the connection to that memory, like your brain has. And that's how you lose things, by just like weakened connections because it's not been strengthened by actively engaging in the thought. That's not a bad thing. I wish I could forget some things that I've done. Jordan's like, same. But yeah, I think it's not, the things that you need to know, you will retain.
Yeah.
And if you need to crash course remind yourself of things, then that's what you need to do as well. It's normal.
And here's like, I don't know, people aren't going to like this, but this is kind of the reality.
Red
a lot
pill.
of the stuff you learn at school, like, it doesn't matter. Like, the content you learn doesn't matter. The fact that mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, it doesn't.
not.
It does. Yeah, I know. Someone told me this yesterday. It doesn't matter. But it's about the process of being able to sit in the class, take the notes, learn the skills,
Yeah.
apply it, because that skill of being able to learn a skill or learn knowledge and then being able to apply it is something you'll have to do again and again in life. When you start a job, you'll have to learn things and you'll have to use that knowledge.
Yeah.
And when you go to your next job, you'll have to do the same thing again. And the faster and more efficient you are at that, you'll find makes so many things in life much easier. The skill of learning, the skill of being able to understand, digest stuff, remember stuff, record
Is the most
is
important.
really helpful.
Yeah.
It's not the content itself, but it's being able to do that again and again and again in an
100%.
efficient manner.
Yeah, 100%. What else we got in here? So people have been talking about year 12 and being like the most important year. That was something that I was told quite a bit as well, and I think to an extent it is true. I genuinely took year 12 more seriously than year 13. Year 13, well, like I decided I didn't want to be in high school anymore about midway through year 12. Like that was when I mentally clocked out, and I had my endorsement and stuff by that point, so I like didn't care. Which my exam results showed, but that's fine. But I think that the biggest thing is like, it is what you make of it. Anything is as important as you want it to be. People talk about year 12 being the most important year, but it differs as to people's reasons why. Some people are really concerned about their university grades and entrance and stuff like that, and if that's the case, then yes, it's you want to have something on a bit of paper that says, hey, look, I E-endorsed or I M-endorsed or I, just passed this level.
A-endorsed.
A-endorsed. But some people don't care at all. Like, it just depends on what you want to do. I think people get sucked into this idea that this is important or that is important because you need to go to university. But if you're not even like vaguely interested in university, then it no longer matters to you.
Yeah.
But I think it's also thinking like, it's important, but why is it important? What do I have to actually do about it? Because otherwise you're going to be in this weird ball of confused stress all year because you think the year is important, but you don't actually know why or how you should be working to make sure that whatever is important about that year is achieved in the way that you want it to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Did I go on a tangent? Yeah, I do that. Cool. Any thoughts?
Yeah. When someone rang a bell, did Pavlov think about feeding his dog?
Yes. He was conditioned in the same way that the dogs were.
Really?
Well, you would assume so.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that he consciously decided that was something that he was going to do.
What the is going on?
We're talking about classical conditioning, I'll have you know.
So I'm glad to hear that.
Stimulus response.
I realised I had to censor myself there.
Yeah. This is what you get for talking crap on the microphone. I would say so. Because he had to do it without fail every time to make sure the dogs fully understood.
Just like, imagine doing that experiment and then like for the rest of your life, every time you hear a bell, you're just like,
Got to feed the dogs. I think the only time it would be really, really bad is if he started salivating.
yeah. True.
For anyone who knows this context, look up Pavlov's dogs.
I will not be doing that.
It's interesting.
A lot of people worried about what they're going to do over summer.
Exist.
Yeah. So I guess a few things. If you want to work, find a job.
I would have gone insane if I didn't have a job. I just would have been bored.
Yeah. Just try hard. Sort of, yeah. But I guess the other thing that helps the most is like if you're rolling out of bed every day at 11 o'clock and you're watching Netflix until 5 o'clock, yeah, you're going to get bored very quickly and you're not going to enjoy yourself.
I feel so attacked right now, but okay.
Having some sort of routine, preferably something that involves some sort of social interaction, some sort of like movement, some sort of like exercise or walking or something. Like even just doing those two things every day, you'll knock down 3 or 4 hours and you'll feel much better than just like sitting on the couch for the entire day. If you want to sit on the couch in the evening, that's fine. But
I think if you want to have a day where you just like be a piece of crap, do it. Fine, that's fine.
But if you
don't
do
make
that
a whole
every
summer
day, like you're gonna, if all the days fused into one because it's all just Grey's Anatomy, you're gonna have a problem. How many seasons of Grey's Anatomy are there now?
I haven't even
15.
watched one episode of Grey's Anatomy.
Hey Google, how many episodes of Grey's Anatomy are there?
338.
That's 337 too many.
Yeah, there's only 177 episodes of House, so yeah, that's probably a lot too many.
House is better as well.
Yeah, I know. That's.
House slaps.
I
You know, I started
haven't
watching
watched
last
House. Maybe I
night.
should watch House again.
Do you know what I started watching last night?
What?
Arrow. It's a good show.
What's that?
It's based off a DC comic. It's good.
Okay. That
good.
does not interest me. What was that?
It was the bottom of the stool. A screw came out.
I'm a heavy dude.
Yeah, good thanks.
Not sitting in my bed and eating chips all day for the next 8 weeks. Here's a pro tip: if you don't want to eat junk food, just don't buy it. If it's not in the house, then you can't eat
Yeah,
it.
but if your parents have it and it's just sitting in the pantry and you know it's there.
fine.
Frozen peas.
Frozen
Oh,
peas.
yeah.
I did that.
Snack video.
I did that the other day.
Yes.
Actually.
Do you know what actually I've been really getting into as a snack? Edamame.
Oh, I didn't think that.
You
Like-
just told me this.
You just buy a bag of like the frozen edamame stuff. It's like cheap as, it's like $3 or $4. And then you just like pour some into a bowl, like a little splash of water, some salt, pop it in the microwave for like a minute 30, and it's so delicious.
I've had it. It's just...
It's a good time.
You know what I'm trying to do?
What?
I'm trying to go plant-based.
Hell yeah!
Guess what my lunch is today?
What?
Black bean burgers.
Beautiful.
Turmeric.
That is actually like, I rate that so highly. Hashtag
Another-
study times resident vegetarian.
Another alternative snack is people aren't gonna like this, but like non-sugar beverages, as in as in like tea.
I drink tea.
Like, because sometimes when
Green
you're
tea.
snacking, you just want to put something into your mouth.
2 words.
Oh yeah?
Monster zeros.
Do you now, Sarah?
Yeah, I really want to put this tea into my mouth.
Okay.
I'm gonna do that.
Monster zeros.
Oh, all right, Kyle.
I have a bit of a Sprite Zero habit.
Yeah. No, we should go to the gym twice a day, every day.
That also works. I did that yesterday.
Become an elite athlete.
The thing is, going to the gym twice a day is something that you can do, but you do have to be really mindful when you are doing that because
You want to
can-
get your training.
I wouldn't
right.
recommend going to the gym twice a day.
No, my
Oh, it
brother.
depends what you're doing.
Maybe a walk in the gym. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you have to
You
go
want
and
to do
start with
like
different things.
like if you're doing like strength in the morning, I don't know. You can do flexibility.
my brother would do strength in morning, strength in evening.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah,
He's also
that's
built like
questionable.
a
Yeah, I
brick
know.
house. So
Yeah, don't overtrain, but it can be done.
a
But
lot of
be
shady
careful.
comments in this episode. I feel
Yeah.
like been on the nose. Sorry, guys. Yeah, what were we talking about? Study snacks. That's right. Tea. I genuinely used to hoon so much green tea, but like, it's you just want something to like sip on, something to snack on, just something to like have in your hands because if we have both hands free, we don't know what to do with it, and it's me at most points of time. But no, I get that. I think just being mindful of how much at least you are consuming. Like if you want to be sipping on something most of the day, like
If it's like, yeah,
don't be making that Fanta all day.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, like
You can have some or whatever, but just don't make it a replacement of water
yeah.
unless it's green tea.
Tea's good because especially if you're drinking like fruit tea or some other non-caffeinated tea.
Hell yeah.
You can
Blood
just drink
orange,
it all day.
very good time. Very
Yeah,
good.
I actually like a good orange tea. Red Seal.
Red Seal
actually
blood orange is what I
really
have
good,
at the home at the moment. It's a
Yeah,
good time.
it's
I've
quite
also got
strong.
plum and boysenberry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but orange and turmeric, I quite like that.
Interesting. Turmeric.
Yeah, I like turmeric.
Interesting.
I dig turmeric.
I like it as well.
Except
It's in small
sometimes I like
doses.
if I like my
This
mum
is
will
some
like make
absolute
food with
chat
turmeric.
we're going through right
and
now.
like I'll get the turmeric on my fingers,
Yeah.
and then I'll like take my contact lenses out, and then the next day they'll have like a yellow tint in there.
Oh yeah, that's me. What
Like I'll clean the contacts with my finger. Like I'll forget because like I have dinner at like 6 o'clock, and I like take my
Yeah.
contacts out at night.
Yeah.
I'll like clean it, and yeah.
That's me. When I tried to do a turmeric face mask once.
Do you come out orange?
Yeah.
It's like the dye's like it really gets in there.
Oh hell yeah, yeah, 100%.
yeah.
What other kind of questions do we get? Deviate from this chat. Moving cities. Oh my god, yes. Okay, so I'm the only one here who actually has moved cities.
Yeah, I've never moved.
Oh,
For now.
all right.
We'll take it back. We're going to return her to the hoist base tomorrow, and she's never coming back.
Fair. I'm not allowed back. Police won't let me. No, moving cities. So, I like Hawke's Bay isn't tiny, but it's not like ginormous either. Like people got excited when farmers had escalators, so take from that what you will.
Wait, what?
Look, dude, it's fine. So I was super excited to move to a different city at first, and then I think in the first maybe like 3 days, I remember walking, because I was at Bulcott Hall, I remember walking down Bulcott Street onto Willis Street, and just feeling so many people around me.
Well,
and that
street's not even the biggest.
No,
busiest
exactly.
street. Yeah.
But for me at the time, it was super overwhelming because I was I'm but a bumpkin. So I just was not used to feeling so claustrophobic being outside.
Yeah.
And that I found really overwhelming at first. I avoided going outside a lot at first because I don't like people at the best of times. So let alone when you got nasty guy over here and like weird person over here, like sitting, I don't know, I just didn't vibe it. You guys are alright. People I like are alright, but there's a rule with them.
Just for people who don't know Wellington well, Willow Street is like kind of like the secondary business district, and
it's kind of like the connection between Courtney and
it's like the
Langton.
connection between the business area and like the cultural area, but it doesn't really fit either together that well.
Yeah. So I personally found that, but I felt that for like less than a week, I think, because you kind of get over that initial fear, that initial like, oh my God, I'm in the city on my own. And then you kind of, I think you move into this phase where it's like a liberation, if you will. And you're like, oh wow, I can do whatever I want. This isn't so bad.
Macca's opens 24/7.
Macca's is open 24/7.
Surely Hawke's Bay.
Yeah,
is
definitely.
also
It definitely is. Hastings Macca's, I'm pretty sure is the highest grossing Macca's in New Zealand. Like they make the most money
I'm
out
sure
of it.
Josh will know. We can go ask him.
Oh yeah, McCollins. So I think there will be an adjustment period, but you will get used to it. And once you kind of make friends, it becomes a lot easier. And that's another thing, people talking about being scared of making friends at uni, especially in the halls. And this is my biggest piece of advice, because again, I'm the only one that's been in a hall here. The feeling of fear that you have being around all these strangers that you are going to have to live in very close proximity to for the rest of the year, that like anxiety that you feel of that, they are all feeling it. Like you sit there being like, oh my God, I hope somebody like comes up and introduces himself or like makes me feel less weird. Everyone is feeling that. Be the person who goes up to other people, because I was so scared that people were going to be like, oh, that's so weird. But actually,
how dare you speak to me?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, that's so irrational. Everyone in that room with you at that point of time wishes that they had somebody come up to them and introduce themselves, even just have like really small chat, even if you never talk to that person again. But I think it's just acknowledging that what's going on internally for you, everyone is going through the same thing. Everyone is in a room full of strangers that they've never met before. Everyone's like moved city for the first time. Everyone there is like going through almost the exact same thing as you. So bear that in mind, I think. And that I felt gave me more bravery when I realised everyone was just as anxious as me.
Do we have a name who asked that question? Kristen. It makes me feel better, Kristen. Next year I'm moving to a hall for the first time in a much bigger city in a country whose language I don't speak. So, so I feel you on that one. We're almost together, but
High School Musical plays.
We'll make it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, even if you just have to point to things for a long time.
Exactly. You, friend.
Now. Someone said paying for uni. Paying for uni isn't the bad part, paying for the halls is the bad part.
Yeah. So in terms of course fees and stuff, student loan will cover all of that.
Yeah.
You don't really have to worry about that. But yeah, paying for halls is definitely a challenge people run into.
Yeah, I had about probably like 80% of my hall costs covered.
Just a typical hall cost, 15 grand?
15, 16 grand. But it works out to be $350 a week.
Right.
Ooh. I know, right?
Yeah.
That's insane. That's stupidly expensive. Like, halls do not deserve the amount of money they get. Like, I know there's a lot of work that goes into it, but there's a lot of work for really subpar quality of existence. Like, the only thing that you can bank on is that you're going to be warm, that it's going to be Wi-Fi. What you can't guarantee is that somebody won't poo in your floor when you wake up and open the door in the morning. What you can't guarantee is that you're not going to have strangers walk into your room at 1 a.m. because they think it's their room, because they're too smashed to know what floor they're on. What you're like not going to get is good food. It's one of
You
those
do
things.
get food.
Yeah, but it's not good. You will pay an insane amount of money and not get that value back to you. I promise you. Which makes it, the value that you do get is meeting people, being able to make good friendships and stuff like that.
There's no monetary value on friendship. That's my contribution for today.
Well, that's just it, right? Like,
Yeah.
in terms of the service that you get for what you're theoretically paying for,
Yeah.
in my mind, it's not there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you playing Roller Coaster Tycoon?
I need to collect my coins. This is very important.
Oh my god. He's in the back on Instagram. You're here on
Come
playing
on,
games.
study time Instagram.
All right.
Asking questions.
I'm helping. Yeah, so it's
Roller Coaster Tycoon touch, kids. When you finish
you
your
did this in the
exams,
last episode.
check it out. Did I? I can't
Yes, you
remember.
did. The way that I paid for the halls was I worked beforehand, so I had savings, and then I got a scholarship, and I saved a partial amount of my student loan / student allowance every week to go on that like final part of the final installment that I hadn't like entirely got covered. That was how I got through it. A lot of people get mummy and daddy to pay for it. That was a really condescending way to put it. I'm really sorry. If your parents can pay for your hall, that's amazing. Like, I don't begrudge that at all. What I do begrudge is when people are dicks about it.
Yeah.
What I hate is when people are like, oh my God, how are you so poor? And it's like, oh, because I don't have my mum and dad paying for everything. Like, people like that, like, if you've got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. You're like that mate that's like, oh my God, I'm going to fail my exam, but you studied really hard. Like, that's the same thing. It's just really rude and disrespectful. Sorry, I have low tolerance for that kind of thing.
Yeah. I know.
Moving into the halls, you definitely see how the other half lives. Doesn't matter what half you're on, but you're going to see the other side. That's always very eye-opening.
Yeah.
Do you know what I have a low tolerance for?
What?
Dairy.
You lactose intolerance?
If you're in Wellington, here's a pro tip. If you're in Wellington, Zany Zeus,
Zany Zeus.
Zany Zeus, really good. Halloumi, milkshakes, ice cream, lit. I highly recommend.
It's a good time. Except for Jordan, because he lacks lactose intolerance.
Can you drink A2 milk? Have you ever tried
I
A2
haven't tried
milk?
it.
You should try it. I don't know. People rave about it.
I'll give it a try.
That's my fun fact.
Next question.
A2 milk.
Moving schools in year 12.
Oof.
Oof.
I feel for you.
I think
it's not impossible.
it's not impossible. I think people are always going to be willing to be friends with you. I think it's the same thing with the halls, where you just have to be willing to put yourself out there a little bit more, and it's scary to do. Like, I'm not, like, it's something that I'm working on. I hate doing that kind of thing, but you have to sort of be like, you know, if I want to make friends, I have to put an effort into making friends. You know, I can't just not.
Sorry, that's a stupid answer, but I'll
No, I want to know your stupid answer. That was more or less all I had to say.
No, I said, but like pretend you're like Spider-Man and like where you have to move schools. There's this TikTok, trend going on now, and it's like kids like when they're in like school like pretending to be like vampires and like werewolves and stuff. Have you seen that?
Oh,
like
no.
there's one where he's like it's like Twilight music playing, and he's like, hey guys, is there a full moon today? Or like he drew like a tribal tattoo on his and he went like it's like stuff like that.
I hate that. Is this how you make friends?
I was like, the caption was like trying to convince everyone in my school that I'm a werewolf.
Oh. So that's how you don't go into
You know
your next
another
school?
TikTok trend? The cheer thing. I showed you this.
Yes, you did.
Have you seen this?
No.
The like girl and boy cheer thing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I want to do the push-up thing.
Push up thing?
But instead of sitting, you lie down on someone's back. That distributes the weight more evenly.
Right.
We'll do that afterwards.
Okay.
A lot of people are just worried about going from level 1 to level 2. It is a jump. A lot of people think that, or a lot of people say that from level 1 to level 2 is the biggest jump. I personally found the biggest jump from
I
level,
think level
2 to level 3.
is the biggest jump.
But I didn't care about level 3. So it really just didn't stick well to
It's
me.
not that bad. Level 2 is not that bad. Like
Are you
if you've
going
done
to
level 1, level
uni?
2 is not that bad.
When are you going to uni?
Oh no, I got it. Oh, that's at 11:40 actually.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Matthias just let me know he's there now, but we didn't agree to meet for another half hour or so, so it's fine. Failing.
Perhaps,
University. Subject choices. That I'll never improve on not procrastinating, and it will even get worse in year 13. I mean, that's a risk. Like, I'm not saying it's not going to happen.
Oh,
like, I'm not going to sugarcoat things. Like, we give advice here, but I'm not going to lie to people. It always.
You have to.
If there is anything I have learned from 2019, it can always get worse.
You have to. I don't know. If you want it to get better, you have to do something about it. It doesn't just
That's just
magically
it.
improve, right?
There are two things that go into changing habit. It's motivation and effort.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot better at pacing out my assignments, but it's because I've put effort into when I see an assignment due date in my calendar, I like literally work back and make targets for each day.
Yeah.
It's gotten worse, but that's because my degree is 5 years, and so it feels like I'm like.
The motivation, it's a bit of a bell curve,
I'm
eh?
like NCA level 6 at this point.
Yeah.
Do you know NCA level 4 is a thing?
Yeah, isn't it skills?
Isn't
and
it
stuff?
just?
Or are you like?
Is it?
I don't
just
know.
Like a certificate?
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's a thing.
It's not NCA level 4. It's NZQA level 4.
Oh, whatever.
No,
Potato,
it's
potato.
different.
Potato, potato.
Well, your degree is NZQA level 6. Welcome to the New Zealand, like.
Am I NCA level 6?
No way, my degree.
NZ,
is 6.
yeah, your
NZQA, whatever.
undergrad degree, not honours, is level 6. Honours is level 7. Masters is level 8.
PhD, master. Maxed it out. Maxed out that skill tree. Now, somebody else said not choosing the right degree and wasting a lot of money and time. That was a thing that we got a lot. People worried that the degree that they chose won't be the one that they want to do, and that's actually fine.
I did a first year theatre film English degree.
Yeah.
And
I believe
Your degree's
you.
level 7, yeah.
So I'm level 7.
Yeah, level 7.
Sick.
And then, yeah, diplomas are level 5 or 6, and certificates are level 4.
next level now.
Yeah, I want to max it out.
Well, if you get a doctorate, you get level 2.
Sick. Yeah, because you kind of switch things, eh?
Yeah, I was in the first year theatre degree and it sucked, and I hated every minute of it. And,
Yeah, but the first couple of weeks gives you that grace period, so it's fine.
yeah, but it's fine. I barely remember it now. The money is just numbers on my IRD that I get. And yeah, met some homies.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
I think, yeah, like, you don't know what you're going to have when you go into it. Like, you have an idea of what this field will be like, but it's not guaranteed that it's going to actually be what you had in your head. And I don't think you can blame yourself for that, because you went on your best knowledge. And just because that knowledge didn't align or line up properly, that's not inherently your fault. Like, that doesn't mean that you should have gone away and done more research into the field beforehand, or it doesn't mean that you need to...
It just happens sometimes.
It just happens, and that's okay. That's why universities have like a first 2-week grace period, where if you want to do the old switcheroo on one of your papers, you can at no cost.
The first year's free.
Well, if they get their degree.
No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. You just have to finish the year. You get the year free. That's it.
What?
Yeah, that's how it works.
That is mad stupid.
That's how it works. It's just how it works.
You should get it on degree.
No.
I spent $8,000 on my theatre first year thing, so
Sick.
you have nothing to worry about. Man.
I'm so glad I never dropped a paper. But it's not the end of the world. Most people
I've
do
got
it.
the hard facts, the political facts.
Yeah, all right.
Read my careers guide, because
Oh, is it out there?
I don't know if it's out now, because it. Oh no, it's not.
We'll
out
do
now.
it for that. Well, it's not out now.
Because
so
it contains
don't read
a
it.
great chat about
When
plan
it comes
habits
out.
stars, which is that who you are, the choices you make, and the outcome of your life will be dependent on a whole bunch of random occurrences and
Yeah.
people.
If you never
and
show up to your
experiences.
classes on the free year, the government can take you to court. But they only do that for the most outrageous cases.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, planned.
Happenstance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like this idea of, like, a too long don't read. Do what you like, and opportunities will come to you that let you explore the avenues that you want to.
My favorite example is the psychologist who created Planned Happenstance. One of the most renowned psychologists in the world. He took it from his own life because he didn't know what he wanted to do at uni, and then one day I was on a bike ride and went past a tennis court and thought that looked cool, so he started playing tennis, and then his coach was a psychology professor, part-time, convinced him to do psychology. He did psychology and became one of the best psychologists in his field in the world. So
That's pretty wild.
you never know, man. You go for a bike ride, see what happens.
Well, the thing is, like, at the beginning of my degree, if somebody had told me, hey, in a couple of years' time, you're going to be working full-time, well, not full-time, but, you know, whatever, like, you're going to be paid to make memes and sit on a podcast, I'd be like, that seems fake, but okay. Like, I would never have anticipated that I would be where I am right now. And that's, like, okay. It turned out okay, you know, I'm not dead.
I mean, you could be dead. It's possible.
Yeah, that seventh, was it 7th sense?
Sixth.
6th.
Oh,
We have 5 normal
no.
senses.
Okay. No. This is not true. This is not true.
I have sonar.
You have way more than 5 senses.
All right.
Close your eyes. Touch your nose. How do you do that? You can't see your hand.
Because I know when
You
my
can't
nose is on my
feel-
face.
Yeah, but how do you touch it from your hand?
Because I look at my face every day, I know where it is.
How do you move?
Muscles.
Yeah, that's not feel. You can't feel where your arm is. That's another sense. You know where your limbs are. That's how you don't trip over yourself. You have way more than 5 senses.
Okay,
this is the biggest myth on earth.
what would that sense be considered?
It's got a name.
All right, find it.
I'll find it.
All right. I don't know. I just think it's like.
It's called proprioception.
Oh yeah, sense of limb position.
Yeah.
I
You
feel
just
like
know where your limbs are. You have more than
okay.
5 senses.
Can
You've been sold a bit.
I argue this for a hot moment? I would argue that is the same thing as touch, but just internal.
No, it's not. Because you can't feel, it's not the same as touch. Touch is like texture.
Yeah, no, I know what
and feel
touching
and
is.
temperature.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm being
Proprioception is like the location of your limbs in your body.
All right,
If I
okay.
dance real good, does that mean that I've advanced? Proprioception?
I have below average. I'm really not good at
That's a
knowing
good
where my
place to
limbs
leave
are.
it.
Yeah, the chat has derailed enough for today. Thanks for listening, guys, and or watching. We're getting, I think next week will be our last episode of the Wholesome Half Hour for the year.
Yes.
So,
We'll have another full in, no bonus next week.
yeah, so, you know, if there is something you want to see, something you want to ask, then, you know, hit us up on various forms of social media, abuse us until we do it. Please don't. But do tell us what you want. And that's it from us this week, guys. Oh, right, I get it. Bye.
We've got 14 to 20 senses.